No homo. I say he's so sweet, think I wanna lick the rapper. So I let her lick the rapper. She lick me like a lollipop. She lick me like.
Out doing some lists this morning, so about 40 minutes, low intensity, steady state. Studies have shown that actually, even though it's not very instantly effective, should I say, compared to the other two forms of cardio, it does actually show that people keep it more consistent. So people that do low steady state as their cardio of choice, more often than not they keep it up, because obviously it's nice to go balls to the wall, but a lot of people will drop out from hit or miss simply because of the effort level, whereas going for say a nice brisk walk, some fresh air, it's quite appealing, so you end up keeping it up more often. So a little bit of miss, 40 minutes, you know the deal. So let's explain lifting and training. For me to go into real detail about what to lift and when would take a very, very long time, and the goal here isn't to give you guys a fixed nutrition plan, a fixed training plan. It's for me to kind of trim the fat and make sure that you guys don't waste time doing what I've been doing for so many years. I've done things extreme for a very long time. Doing things extreme doesn't necessarily mean results, okay? So this whole series is there just to kind of go, look, I've done that for forever. It doesn't work. So I'm giving you the things that will work and will help you. So with training, if we just go by the structuring of training, what works for me is to do back on Monday, do chest on Tuesday, do shoulders on Wednesday, and now you can either decide to have a break now of your 6-day training and actually have a day off, or now you go on to legs on Thursday, arms on Friday, and Saturday's the day that you go to your weakest part. You've just covered all of the muscle groups. What isn't working for you? What's the area that is struggling the most? And for me, right now, it's actually my triceps and my arms. So I actually do arms twice a week. You could be a bit more direct. I like to keep them a bit more balanced and do both biceps and triceps, but I now do arms because triceps are my weakest point. So that's what you should be doing on your 6th session of the week. So what happens if it's a day that you're not feeling too good? You don't feel like your energy levels are up. Something's affected your day. Let's be honest, we've got lifestyle. There are other factors involved in when we train and why we train. So what do you do in this scenario? Because we are only human and things happen. You've got to bear in mind that it's important to keep up an effort level. It's important to stay on track. Your options would be to completely flip to the other side, which I know a lot of people would do. You know, it was going to be a day of going to the gym, but hey, now I'm going to sit on the couch and eat pizza. That's one extreme to the other. What I suggest you do is you opt for a small muscle group, low intensity sort of a workout, which allows you to get some benefits, help you recover from your last workout, burn a few calories, but not go to the extreme of adding weight or adding body fat by going the extreme opposite. So on days when I'm not feeling strong and I go to the gym, I will do calves and abs. Abs isn't an exercise, isn't an area that I work directly anymore. I used to teach a lot of classes whereby obviously I would be demoing and doing a few sets with the class. Nowadays I never do abs. Have I lost my six-pack? No, nowhere close, because obviously, and I've said this to so many clients, we all have a six-pack. It's what's covering it. It's body fat that will determine if you've got a six-pack. And every time you lift weights in any form, even right now, with me walking, with you at work, with you picking stuff up, with you just living, you're working your abdominals and your core. Having to do sets of crunches every day, nah, I'm not a fan. It also, I believe, thickens your midsection, and especially for me that I've always been quite a narrow frame, having a slightly bigger waistline doesn't do me any favors for my V-taper and my form. So I avoid doing 20-30 minutes of abs on a regular basis. However, I do appreciate that shocking the system and doing them occasionally is a good idea. As for calves, again, not really something that I do a lot of, but I'm always on my toes, so I feel like I'm always working them. I will shock them every now and then, so that's a nice combination for me. So on a day off, try something different, try something that you're not used to doing, try and keep it low intensity, but still do something. And what about food? What about nutrition? It's very important that you get your macros in. Now, I've talked about macros 1,000 times. Your macros are your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates. For those of you that don't know what macros are, that's what your macros consist of. Now, on a very general ratio, it's a 40-40-20 split that seems to suit most people, i.e. 40% of your intake for the day is from protein, 40% is from carbohydrates, and 20 is from fats, i.e. good fats. Give or take the little bit of saturated fat here and there if you're a carnivore. Now, what's important to remember with this is that it doesn't suit everybody. 40-40-20 doesn't work for everybody. Some of us are maybe a so-called mesomorph or a endomorph, and we tend to store a bit more body fat. So for that, I would suggest dropping a percentage, a little bit of the percentage from your fat level, and I would probably go with a 40-50-10 split. So add a bit more carbohydrate and take the fat off just a little bit. That's as far as I will go about pushing nutrition. I know there's nutritionists out there twitching in their seats. That's only a recommendation from me. I wouldn't say I'm an expert in the food department, and I don't think anybody should class themselves as. Everybody's different, everybody has different requirements, so I will stick to recommending supplements and recommending percentages and so-called ratios for macros, but you need to talk to a proper specialist, a proper nutritionist for things like that, okay?